In Tom Brady's tell-all interview with Howard Stern on Wednesday morning, he expressed how his relationship with Bill Belichick wasn't as rocky as it was portrayed in the media. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. Obviously, Brady and Belichick have sort of been pinned against each other a lot. Who deserves more credit for the legacy, for the dynasty? And Brady came right out and said that he thinks that is a stupid argument because he said he can't do Bill's job and Bill can't do his job, which is a very valid point. But obviously, Tom expressing that him and Bill were pretty much fine behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think that the mistaken identity of this situation is pretty clear that people thought that there was some anger, some bitterness, some real tension between those two. And I think it was always professionally, right? It was always about what the supporting cast was going to be, the roster construction, Brady's contract. It was business. It wasn't ever personal with Brady and Belichick. I think that that's always been something that's been misconstrued where we have all kind of been in situations where whether it's with our bosses or with coworkers where things professionally aren't great, and then 5 o'clock hits and we go out to the bar afterwards with each other and we're best friends again. So I think that the Patriots and Brady and Belichick had a very similar situation where professionally they butted heads at times and there was some tension, but personally they have nothing but love for each other.
One thing regarding receivers that I thought was really interesting from this interview was Brady said in practice he would express to Bill when he didn't trust a receiver and said, if you put this guy in the game, I'm just not going to throw to him. But Brady also said that Bill was pretty much on board with that line of thinking and they saw the path to success in the same way.
Yeah, I think that that's another kind of misconception here. Listen, Bill Belichick can see for more than any of us that a receiver is not working out or a receiver is not running the route properly or he's not getting open consistently or he just doesn't have it, just doesn't have the talent to do that. So to this kind of notion that Bill Belichick saw the Patriots skill players last year and said this would be fine if Tom would just throw everybody the ball. I don't think anybody really thought that, and I don't think Belichick thought that. That's why he went out and he brought back Josh Gordon, then he signed Antonio Brown, and then he traded for Mohamed Sanu. They knew all along that they didn't have enough offensively. They tried to fill the holes, and it just didn't really work out. So I'm sure that they've had plenty of collaborative meetings together where they've said, man, we just don't have enough here. We just don't have enough at receiver, and this just isn't working out the way that we planned it. So I think the circle of trust stuff, though, is interesting to the point where you do have a point where the 42-year-old quarterback that's been in the system for 20 years is clearly going to understand things a little bit better than a rookie about how the Patriots offensive system works. So moving forward, there's a similar learning curve now with guys like N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers with Jared Stidham. They're all kind of in the same boat now where they're all starting new in this offense and they're all trying to learn and pick up things where they have to go through that together versus, maybe going through it with a guy that's a little bit more experienced like Brady.
And I think from the outside looking in, this offseason seemed a little callous maybe between Brady and Belichick. There was a lack of communication. They weren't able to get on the same page. But Brady said he was actually very emotional when he told Belichick and Robert Kraft that he was leaving the Patriots, admitting to crying. He said he's a very emotional guy. So I do think in a lot of ways their relationship was definitely misunderstood.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, it was emotional. I don't think that he walked into Bob Kraft's house and just kind of was blank
Peace
faced and
out.
really didn't care about it, right? I mean, I think that they knew the magnitude of the situation. They understood what was happening, the fact that he was leaving after 20 years and not only just being there for 20 years, but he's Tom Brady leaving after 20 years. So it's the greatest quarterback of all time. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%, Sierra, that I think a lot of people misconstrued or it sort of got spun in a direction that this relationship between Brady and Belichick was beyond repair, and I don't think that that was ever the case. I think that both of them in a weird way are trying to make it harder on themselves to see what they're truly made of. I think that they know that we could have stayed together and we could have competed for Super Bowls like we've had for the past 20 years, but I think that there's a piece of both of them that wants to see if they can do it without the other, and that's what we're going to find out.
Absolutely. And for more of our takeaways from Brady's interview with Howard Stern, head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.